Hate to say it, but one thing the Americans are much better at than us Scots is customer service. So this is me driving through Starbucks, the Starbucks drive-through in Orlando, Florida. Honestly, I drive up to the wee box. Before I've even got to the wee box, the voice says, "Why, good morning, ma'am. How are you this morning?" "Oh, I'm very fine, thanks. How are you?" "Well, I'm just wonderful, ma'am. Thank you for asking. What can I get started for you today?" Sorry, forgive the accent. "Can I have a grande latte, please?" "You sure can, ma'am. Is that everything for you?" "Could I possibly just make that a single shot of coffee?" "Single shot of coffee, coming right up, ma'am." And sorry, I forgot to say, could it be decaf? Is that okay? Sorry. "That's no problem, ma'am. A single shot decaf latte." "Oh, and I forgot, is there any chance it could be extra hot?" "Extra hot, ma'am? You like it extra hot? I'm going to make it like a volcano for you. Can I get you anything else with that, ma'am?" Could you possibly put 1 brown sugar in it?" "Sorry, I know I'm being a pain." "You are not being a pain, ma'am. That sugar's already in there. You just make your way around to the window and I'm going to have your drink waiting for you, ma'am." Right, now I'm driving up to the Starbucks in Bonnie, Scotland. So I drive up to the wee box. I sit at the wee box for about 2.5 minutes going, "Hello? Hello? I think it's broken. Hello?" And then I hear a voice going, "Are you using the app today?" "No, sorry, I'm not using the app." "What's your order?" "Can I have a grande latte, please?" "Is that it?" "Sorry, can that be just a single shot of coffee?" "Uh-huh." "And sorry, I meant to say decaf. Is it okay if I can have decaf?" "Uh-huh." "Is that it?" "And sorry, is there any chance I could have it extra hot?" "Sorry, is there any chance I can have it extra hot?" "I heard you the first time. Anything else?" "Is there any chance, sorry, I know I'm being a pain, is there any chance I could get 1 brown sugar in it?" "I'll need to give it to you at the window. You'll need to put it in yourself. Is that it?" "Yeah, that's it, mate. Thanks very much. Just drive down to the window." Honest to God. Tell me I'm wrong, Scotland. Tell me I'm wrong.
What? Calling it the B-Box from now on. I love it.
These are a few things that I love about Americans. I just love it about Americans. Number one, I just love how friendly you are. I will be driving my car. Then when I pass you, you will just raise your hand, or you will raise a finger, or you will just do this. And I mean, you don't know me, but you greet me. I just feel like I'm the president. I feel like I'm someone important. Except for when you just zoom past me, because let's face it, Americans, you don't drive slow, okay? You don't drive slow. You always try to beat the speed limit. You try to beat the GPS. I mean, except for that, you are always just so friendly. Number two, I love it how you tell me how long a trip is going to take. If I ask you how far is something, you don't tell me in miles, you tell me in minutes. You know what? That's going to be 30 minutes. Okay. Thank you. How far is Walmart? No, don't worry. Walmart is just 20 minutes away. Thank you for that. I love it. I don't even have to worry. I can check my time. I don't have to worry. I know it's going to be 20 minutes drive. And then the other thing is, I just love the way you say things. I mean, you think I've got an accent, but you've got an accent, and the way you've got this different sayings for different types of things. I mean, I will say water, and you say something like water. I can't even say it. And I will say aluminium, and you say aluminum. And then if you ask me something and I don't know, I will say, well, I don't know. It's either this or that. I'm not really sure. And you will just say, it's whatever.
It is whatever. I keep seeing different foreigners saying how much they actually love America. I found some of the biggest reasons why they actually love this country so much, especially after coming here, and especially after hearing some really bad things about the US. They thought it was going to be awful. Today we're going to be reacting to some foreigners that are here in America or that have been here before, the reasons why they love this country so much. What are some of the differences?
Story time of a Brit living in America. Right, one thing I love about America is how friendly people are. In the UK, people would not just come up to you and say the that people come up and say to me here. So I'm in Publix, the grocery store, right? And this woman comes up to us and she just goes, Oh my god, I just had to come up to you and tell you how cool you look. I'm like, I think you should be in a rock band. I was like, oh wow, well thanks. I mean, maybe I'll join a rock band now you said that. And she was like, yeah, like you're just so cute and cool. You should just totally be in a rock band. And I was just like, wow, I mean, thanks. You just made my day, honestly. In the UK, people might give you a, that's as far as it's going, mate. No one's coming up to you saying you should be in a rock band. So yeah, America's winning.
I'm a Swedish girl that has lived in America for 7 years now. So here are 6 things that I love about America. First one is how friendly everyone is over here. And I noticed this very quickly when I moved here. And how everyone helped out, how everyone was so open and everyone is saying hi. Honestly, you can stand in the grocery line and all of a sudden you find your new best friend. The second one is the holidays over here. And I absolutely love how Americans go full out when it comes to like Halloween and Christmas and 4th of July and all the different holidays. Families are dressing up together. Every house is scary and have so many decorations. Some of the neighborhoods I have been living in, private people have haunted houses in their houses. So like they invite everyone in the community to just come and you walk like a haunted house, but it's literally someone living there. And yeah, I just think it's amazing. It's really fun and it's definitely one of my favorite things about America. Another one, especially living in Los Angeles, I love the diversity of the people and the cultures over here. Meeting so many people from so many cultures, so many backgrounds, and you can truly find your clique of people. And I feel like that was something I was missing living in Sweden. I came to the US and I found my people and all my interest over here. I just felt so home. I'm definitely so grateful that have had this experience to move over here and to live in a community that is so diverse as it is, because you learn so much about people, and I think it's so important to do so. We can talk about this in so many ways, but I do truly love that I can switch career however I want to. And in Sweden, maybe it wasn't as common to just switch around because you don't have as many opportunities as you have here. And I'm just so happy I'm able to try so many things, and there's no one is like judging me for changing careers or trying something new, or maybe have 2 jobs at the same time because you can, or you want to try something new. And it's just amazing. I understand one reason why a lot of Americans doesn't travel outside of the US. And one of the reasons, which I absolutely love, is that you can just take a road trip, or you can take a plane in the same country. You can get different types of environments and natures, and yeah, you can just see so much in the same country. Last one is the customer service over here. It's absolutely amazing. I do understand the tipping culture because they go above and beyond at most of the places I've gone to, in the grocery stores, at the restaurants, like everywhere. They're truly so kind and amazing and doing a really good job.
I also feel like when you do have a job or you go into school, they do teach a lot about customer service or how to treat customers. I feel like a lot of employers have handbooks on these things. So I just feel like, you know, we get coached a little bit throughout life, just depending on what we do.
Hey, so I recently moved to the US from Sweden, and one thing that I love about Americans is how much you celebrate each other. I can run into a stranger on the street and tell them that I'm working on a great song and I'm a songwriter and I have this new opportunity that I'm so excited about. And they get so happy, like genuinely happy for me. This doesn't exist where I'm from. Like, you're not supposed to brag about yourself. You're not supposed to talk about how proud you are. You're not supposed to talk about your success in life. So the fact that you guys here are so happy for each other, you want to help each other, is so beautiful, and I feel so blessed and so thankful to be a part of it.
Back again with my 5 things. Here are 5 things me as an European living in America love about America. Number 1, the service in America is impeccable. Everybody's always very nice, super sweet, always asks you, how are you? If you go to the store, everybody smiles, asks you if you need any help. This really freaked me out when I just moved here. You went into the store and the people who work there would be like, oh, do you need anything? And I was like, what? Why are you talking to me? But I really love that. That is an amazing trait that Americans do have, that they're always super nice. 2, the cowboy culture. I've always loved cowboy culture since I was little, and it's just so...
Actually, I think she means like Southern hospitality, I think.
Handsome. And I really love being called ma'am and get my chair pulled out. It's just, I don't know, it's so respectful, and it's such a gone with the wind kind of thing. And we don't really have that. I mean, men in Europe are very respectful, but here it's like, I don't know, old times respectfulness. It's as I said, gone with the wind kind of thing. So yeah, I absolutely love cowboy culture. 3, the meat. Let me tell you, the meat in America is like the best. We do have good meat in Europe, but for example in Sweden, I have no idea why, but I guess it's a different cattle. The beef is always a little bit on the gray side. Here it's really red and juicy, and I really love that, because we don't really have the same barbecue culture in Europe that America has. So I really do love the meat here. I love the meat. Number 4, the opportunities. The opportunities you have here in America are not really the same in Europe, because in Europe we don't really have the same, how can I say, business culture, where it is really encouraged that you be your own boss, you be an entrepreneur. We don't really have that same culture, because most of the jobs in Sweden anyway, you get hired for by a company and you work there until you retire or change jobs. But being an entrepreneur, especially in Sweden or in Europe, is a little bit harder due to we do have very high taxes, especially if you make a lot of money. So it's not frowned upon, but people don't really have the same oomph to go for it that Americans have. And I really love that. And I wouldn't have the same opportunities I have here back home, unfortunately. Number 5, how social people are. Americans are very, very social, and it is normal to say hello to a complete stranger and start to talk to them or give them a compliment. In Europe, they'll be like, why are you talking to me? I don't know you, do not talk to me. Are you trying to do something weird here? We're Europeans or Swedes, especially in Scandinavia, people are a little bit more reserved. They need a couple of shots to loosen up. But in general, people are not super social. If they don't know you, they will not strike up a conversation with you. They will not sit next to you on the bus. It's so different here. And I really love how social people are. You can, strike up a conversation with a total stranger and it will be like you've known each other for years. So that is amazing.
Taking videos in the lift because there's no longer in this apartment, and the girl keeps stopping, and every single person is like, you look amazing, keep going. I don't feel embarrassed about taking videos in lifts, whilst I would in London, because people would look at me funny. But here everyone's like, keep going, you look beautiful, you look amazing. And I'm like, I just love American culture. I feel they're so supportive. And also maybe because everyone here is a content creator, so it's not embarrassing, but it just shows that your environment changes how other people, how you can feel about yourself, and also the way people treat you can massively impact how you treat yourself. You can call yourself cringe and embarrassing and it's a bit too much and it's a bit weird if other people are making you feel like that. Anyway, I gotta hop back in the lift and take this video. Let's hope I can do it this time.
I am absolutely in shock. I made this account a month ago showing a British perspective of life in America, and the amount of messages and the amount of support that I have received from Americans has been overwhelming. Like, it has been insane. I have people asking to show me around. I have people offering to take me out on a boat. I have people offering to take me to their favorite restaurants. And that is beautiful. Like, there generally isn't any words to describe it, and I am overwhelmed with love, and I really do, like, to everybody, I really appreciate that.
I wanted to show you this video because this is people coming together, tourists from all over America, a Canadian, and maybe a couple of other people just from the island. This is when they had that big hurricane in Jamaica, Hurricane Melissa. This resort was like tore up, okay? Guests just started cleaning up. It was beautiful to see, and I love this video. It put a tear in my eye.
Yes, where you from? Indiana. Pittsburgh. New Jersey. Where you from? Philadelphia. Jersey. Where you from? All right, where you from? Florida. Where you from? All right. My lovely lady, where you from? Montreal, Canada is in the house. Where you from, sir? What's up? Sir, where you from?
From Iowa.
Iowa. I will appreciate you.
Not a problem.
In this time of trouble, I will call upon some great friends, and you are one of them.
This is it's really sweet. I love seeing this. And you know what? It sucks that you're stuck on vacation and this is what happens, but we can't control the weather, you know? And I just love that these people came together and were like, let's help the staff here. This is crazy.
So thanks for your effort, thanks for everything. I hope God see we soon back out of this storm.
I went to America expecting to enjoy it, but I didn't expect to come home wanting to move there. I've travelled around quite a bit, but the USA just hit differently, and I don't even think it was one city or place in specific. It was that feeling of having so much to explore. I mean, every state has so much for you to experience, and now I want to make it my home someday. Americans, if you could move to one state right now, where would you be going?
I grew up in Germany and I live in the US. I live in California. I want to tell you guys how Germans think the US is like and if it's actually true. So a lot of Germans think that all of the US is like the Hollywood movies. All pretty palm trees and high school cheerleaders, like butterflies and rainbows everywhere. Now I can tell you that is not true because I have picked up so many friends, my parents from the airport, and showed them Hollywood, showed them like all where the movies were made. Yes, there is so many amazing and pretty parts, but a lot of Hollywood is pretty dirty and they're like, wait, that looks so different in the movies. Obviously because it's all very like manufactured and it's like very different in the movies. It looks different on screen than it looks in real life. Germans think that Americans are very loud and friendly. I can tell you that that is very true. I absolutely love my American friends. My husband is American and he is very friendly, sometimes very loud, and I like it. It's like you make friends everywhere, like, how are you? And you know, you talk to like everyone and anyone. People are very friendly. My husband's mom, she was visiting from Canada. She's actually American, but they live in Canada. In our little beach town where we live, like everyone was, wait, there's a train, I need to show you guys. I'm like at the beach right now. I parked at the beach, the train just left, but you can kind of see the ocean from up here. It's so pretty. Anyways, I had to make this pause real quick. But she came to a little beach town in California and she was like, wait, everybody says hi to each other here. Like everyone, you go for a walk and everyone is like saying hi to you. How are you? Like you can make friends so easily. I had to open the car door because it was getting really hot in here because it's pretty sunny right now. Another thing that Germans think is that Americans have a lot of credit cards. Now that is very true. Basically everyone has credit cards here. They think everything is bigger in the US. That is 100% true. The drinks, the food, the portions are huge, so big. They also love all the high schools and like the football, the cheerleading, because we don't have that, and that's 100% here. Like every school, everything, like they all have it. They all have the school uniforms, the cheerleading, and it's really, really fun. the American neighborhoods and houses that they all look like in the movies. Yes, there are some that look exactly like the movies, like very beautiful houses. Like we live in an area, there's so many beautiful houses look exactly like the movies I used to watch when I grew up. Not every area is like that at all. There's a lot of areas that do not look like that.
I love about America is that wide open vastness where you can say, right, we're going here. We're going to experience this. And I found so many cool things in the Smoky Mountains, dude. Like I found a mountainside spa where you can, it's a hot tub carved into the mountain.
No way.
And you're in a hot tub staring into, like, basically the Milky Way.
That's crazy.
I've saw it online.
You're gonna be so scared of aliens. Oh, you're gonna feel.
And there was a big UFO sighting recently in Tennessee. Somebody saw a black triangle. See if you look in, this is...
Guys, America, known for UFO sightings, okay?
Came back from America the last time we came back. Life has been very challenging not being in America. Let me put it that way.
We're still wearing the gear.
We're still, everybody keeps saying to us, we even had a thing on the train like the other day.
It was on a flight.
On the flight, but on the train, the guy who was, remember I was sitting on the train coming back from Glasgow?
No, it wasn't a train. You're
and this guy comes up to me and goes, "You look, sir, like a Yankee." And I was like, "No, I'm Scottish, dude." And he was an American guy. And he was like, "Oh, well, you could have forgiven me for being mistaken." And I was like, "Yeah. We're obviously making our plans to move to the States. We've got several avenues that we're pursuing." But it's just changed everything forever. It has literally changed everything forever. I can't look at this place any longer.
But it's like everything we think about now, I think. Because, yeah, we just want to go. And everything else just feels like it's making it take longer.
I think they're in the process of moving here, but they can't wait.
I'm just going to put it out there. Once you have been traveling around America for a substantial amount of time, when you come home, it is a very strange and slightly, truthfully, depressing feeling, okay? Traveling around America really opened up my eyes, really allowed me to see how I could be living and just how many opportunities there are and how many different amazing places there are, all in one country. Like, since I've been back home in the UK, I haven't felt like myself, which sounds so crazy. I now live for that adventure, that crazy lifestyle, that meeting new people, seeing new people every day, and I just long for it. And in America, it is so amazing. Oh, seriously, Americans, what have you done to me? I need to come back. October, end of October, back in America. I can't wait. It's really kerfuffled me, man. Coming home from America, it has kerfuffled me.
I'm a Brit living in America, and I want to tell you my favorite things about this country. So the first one is the big roads and the big trucks, and everything's just bigger and better here. In England, we have these tiny little roads and you feel like pretty restricted. Second is the free refills, like coffee, soda, anything you want is refillable.
And they're probably used to having ice in their water and having cold drinks. This is one of my favorite things is a Hydro Flask. It keeps my water cold all day long. Sorry about my lipstick there. But it's easy to carry with this handle. This is one of my favorite ones. I do have a bunch of them. Let's get back to the free refills though.
And also the portions are huge, and it feels like everything's in abundance here. Like in England, I feel like everything's so teeny tiny. Everything feels like you are in a movie. Even like the police, they're like movie stars. Maybe it's an LA thing. Everywhere you look, you've seen things in a movie, like fire hydrants, the way that Americans wake up and they like instantly mow the lawn. I feel like I should have said that.
They don't have fire hydrants in the UK, so she's just like, there's fire hydrants. Oh, it's so cute.
This first, but it's the people. They are the most enthusiastic, friendly, kind, supportive people. I love the British accent, even though they ask if I'm from Australia. It makes my day to like be with Americans. Like they are just so nice, and they get a bad rep for being fake. A lot of people in England say that, but that is so far from the truth. So another one is the convenience here. Like if you need something, it's so easy to find, and a lot of things are way more available in America, especially LA. than they are in England. You can like get things delivered so easily. It feels like you're living in the future. LA specifically, I guess, is like ahead of the times. I have a car that self-drives. It just feels like there's endless possibilities. The service here is amazing. So if you want to go and get your nails done, you get a treatment, or you're going to a restaurant, I know that like tipping is a thing, obviously, but it is so good because you know that they're going to try really hard to do a good job. And in England, you just don't know. It's kind of like a hit or miss. It's not really a thing to tip, I guess, so I get that, but the servers at restaurants don't put in a lot of effort because obviously then they're not getting tipped. I love that you can just drive wherever you want. Like I can literally get in my car right now and drive for days and still be in the same country. You can stop at like places on the way. The views go from like mountains to like beach to like desert, and there's just like so much adventure here. Like you can literally go to a different state so easily and be in a whole different place. In England, there's only so far we can drive before we're like in the water and we're in like France or something. I love the random diners you can stop off on road trips, and they're so like cool and, you know, American. And obviously we can't forget about the food. Oh my days. The food that we just saw in movies, Taco Bell. I don't even love Taco Bell, but it's still cool. Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out, IHOP. Like you can literally go to buy pancakes in the middle of the night. It's open 24 hours. I haven't been to Waffle House yet. I want to try that. But there's all these different places and it's just like fun. And I know you should eat it in moderation because I've definitely gained weight since I've been here, but it's just so cool. Like I feel like Americans think it's normal, but like in England we have like McDonald's and that's kind of like our fast food option. It reminds me of like being at Disney World, being in America, because it's just like so cool. Another thing I love about America is like everyone has a dream or an aspiration, and they believe that it's possible. Like there's no like ceiling. It feels like, you know, if you're like, yeah, I want to do, you know, a jewelry brand like I do, they're like, oh cool, like where can I get it? It's like not surprising to them. Whereas in England, it's like, oh, good luck, mate, you know? Like they don't believe that it's gonna happen. It's kind of like limited in my experience. And here it's just like everyone's got dreams. Everyone's supporting each other. Everyone's kind of like, they believe that they can do anything they want. I think that's one of my favorite things actually about being here is like, I constantly feel inspired. I'm constantly learning. Like Uber drivers, I meet them and they're doing some cool side hustles, and it's probably an LA thing too. It just makes me really excited to meet different people, and whatever the media is saying about Americans, it's just so not accurate. I love it. It's my favorite place. I'm gonna do probably a part 2 because there's probably other things that I haven't said on this one. It is my absolute dream to be here. I thank God every day I wake up to be here. It is the best country in the world.
A lot of things here that they were not expecting, but they were pleasantly surprised. They weren't expecting Americans to actually be excited if they started a new business and being supportive. Something that I feel you and me would be so supportive of a friend who started a new business. And, you know, if say they opened a restaurant, you would probably go check it out and support their business. Be happy for them.
You know why I feel so happy in the US? I can express myself in every aspect. The way I speak, the way I dress, the way I walk, even like in my business, in my project, in my creativity, I can just be me. And you know, like I went to the doctor and I have this diagnosis, and it's the consequences of what happens when you have to shrink, when you cannot express yourself, when you just have to check some boxes because you have to be that way or that way, and you cannot just be yourself, express yourself fully. When you feel that you're living in a cage, and this is what happens. I'm sorry, I love my country so much, but there's something that feels so off. 2 days ago, I was walking, like, and I had a shirt and I was not wearing, like, and I don't need any justification, but people were just looking at me as if I was a problem. Because that's the reality when you walk here. People, they judge you if you dare to dream too big or just to dream. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. You cannot really express yourself. And of course, it exists also in the US. You have to check some boxes because in the end, it's the cutest. I'm talking to women, especially, who are going to win. But in the end, yes, in the US, I can breathe. I can breathe there. And I don't feel this competition as much like with women as much as I can feel it here in France. That's why I love the US so much, and I don't care about what other things about the US, because even myself, I was like full of cliche before moving to the US, but then I moved there and I fell in love there. It was never my dream, but damn, it changed me so much. It changed me so much, and I'm deeply, deeply grateful for everything that happened in my life that brought me there.
And it seems like it was unexpected for her. It was never her dream to be in the US and feel this way, yet she does.
Damn, I love the US so much.
Things you wouldn't know unless you lived in the US. One thing I think a lot of people don't realise is how much is controlled by each state.
Before we moved here, I think we thought that a lot of things would just be the same everywhere. Take driving, for example. We'd get our driving licence, and the road laws would just be the same across the country. In fact, that's not the case.
And we know that right now because we've been trying to take our driving test, and our Massachusetts driving test and the laws that we learn about are completely different from a different state. And just picture this, it's so mind-blowing for us to understand, is that I could drive legally, once I get my Massachusetts driving license, I can drive the whole country, no problem, right? But I won't know any of the Tennessee laws, the Texas laws for the state for driving, and that's okay. I may never ever find that out, but I can drive through it.
Surely they can't be that wildly different.
And it doesn't stop there when it comes to the differences. For example, if you want to become a teacher, you are licensed in the state that you become a teacher in.
And that's the same with a lawyer and a nurse as well, right?
You would think that if you are a licensed teacher, that you would be able to just teach in the same country that you live in. And of course the taxes are different. Now you do understand a little bit of that when you live in the UK. A lot of the time you understand there's tax differences, but they're so intricate to the point where, like, if we go grocery shopping in Massachusetts, we don't pay taxes on our groceries. But when we go to Publix in Florida, you pay taxes on your food. Alcohol laws are different from the States. There's this thing called open container, and we don't have that in Mass. So we had friends come over to watch the football recently, and they wanted to buy bottles of beer and walk around the streets with them. Oh, we can just grab our beers and walk to the next place. And I was like, you can't do that, it's illegal.
The outdoor dining law.
Yeah, we have a happy hour law. We have a happy hour law.
No happy hour here.
Which is, that is a shocker.
Sort it out.
Sort it out.
But yeah, like you can't.
I need to get on the phone to Mayor.
I think even recently you could, or like, I don't know how recently, but you couldn't even buy alcohol on a Sunday in Massachusetts. And people used to drive to New Hampshire.
Which I was assuming that's a like religious thing. And there's a really funny one where in certain states you can't.
Some counties here, you can't buy alcohol until noon on Sunday.
Even pump your own gas for yourself.
That winds me up. Because usually when I'm going to a gas station, I'm in a rush.
Ollie loves to pump his own gas.
New Jersey, you don't pump your own gas in New Jersey. Matter of fact, when I first moved to Florida, I was so confused by myself the first time at the gas pump. I almost called 911. I didn't, okay? I got help. I did get a random person who helped me.
Huge culture shock.
Huge culture shock.
And it's one you don't realise until you've like been here for a while.
You have to live here. If you're visiting, you never get that.
British girl, and I have been to around 27 different countries in my whole life. I've been to the Caribbean, I've been to St. Lucia, I've been to Barbados, I've been to Southeast Asia, Thailand, Bali, places in Europe. I've been all over the world basically, and nothing comes close to the USA. You can get every single landscape, every single climate, you can get everything in the US. The people, the food, the landscapes, the cars, the trucks, everything in the US simply beats anything I've ever experienced anywhere in the world. I was born in the wrong country. I feel like I belong in the US. My heart is there. I mean, we found a puppy in the US. We rescued a puppy in the US and brought her home to the UK. There are no words to describe how lucky you guys are to live there. Americans are so lucky to live in such an amazing country.
I definitely feel lucky now, for sure. Now, this lady has been in America for a year. Now, this lady's been living in America for a year, Just because they're in America, they're like, okay, we're a little bit more relaxed now, and she's gonna give you some examples.
British, but we live in America, and friends and family in the UK have been telling us that we've changed. So this is part one of how America has changed us. So I think the most obvious thing is how we dress. So in the UK, we dressed quite formally, we wore proper shoes, and it was really fast fashion. So as soon as the stores brought out new lines in line with the seasons, they would have new colours, new designs, new styles, and we would go to the store and we would kit our wardrobes out with the latest fashion. And we very rarely kept these clothes until the following year because it would be a completely different fashion. So they went to the charity shop. Also to work, my husband would wear very formal shirts, which I spent hours ironing, and he would wear formal trousers, if not formal jeans and formal work shoes. I would say going out in public, we always tended to dress up rather than down. So if we were leaving the house, it was always better to be overdressed than underdressed. When we came to America, initially we were still dressing in the same way because all our clothes were from the UK. I was still in dresses, I was in proper sandals, and the kids were still in their colour coordinated matching outfits. But I would say how we dressed changed quite quickly. Obviously the weather is completely different here, so we started wearing more summer clothes. But also because the weather's so good, we're out and about all the time and the clothes are always getting dirty. So I don't really care anymore if the kids have got a t-shirt and shorts on and they don't match. I just really don't care. They're going to get dirty anyway. My husband soon felt quite silly in what he was wearing to the office, so he now wears a light cotton t-shirt, baggy jeans and boots to work. And correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I get the impression that Americans don't really care what you wear, or at least in California they don't, because I think they're more bothered about who you are as a person and whether you're happy with what you're wearing and whether you're comfortable. So I'm slowly transitioning into Adam Sandler. I pretty much wear baggy t-shirts every day now. This is Oasis because we went to see them last year. And cycling shorts because I can run after the kids. They're comfortable. Actually, these are from Target. Target are fantastic for clothes. They were like $20 and I can clean the house. It's just more relaxed. And I think it's great because I'm not wasting money on clothes anymore and I'm comfortable. And I just don't really care. I don't even bother with my hair and makeup anymore. Well, I do, but not very often. And I don't even bother like doing my hair. I just literally slap a baseball cap on and I'm good to go.
I got a bunch of these shirts from Amazon in different colors. They're really good quality. They're affordable. It's easy to just, you know, put the stuff on and just go about your merry way. I know she's saying she's dressing like Adam Sandler and it's okay, nobody cares. And you know, it's true, we don't care. We're not gonna be judging each other, you know, unless she's going to a job where they require her to dress a certain way or wear a uniform, right? But I think she looks totally fine for every day and for playing with her kids and all of that, running errands. No one cares if you're running errands in your pajamas here. I've seen it.
And I'm good to go.
He's surprised at something. I think we've shocked the Goonie Dad. So what shocks you here at Harris Teeter the most? In Greenville, South Carolina. Well, actually in Greer, South Carolina, but
He's at the grocery store.
You'd only believe it if you see it.
Let's
so I should
see
show
it.
it to him? Yeah, because he's saying it, probably still won't believe it.
I want to see. It's a bar. Or a pub.
It's a pub. Supermarket. Say it again. I don't think they heard you.
There's a pub in the supermarket.
He is blown away that Harris Teeter has a pub inside the supermarket where you can sit here and drink. You can take your beer with you or your wine with you while you shop. Look at him. He's so shocked.
After 3 years of living in the US, I've only just realised that this is a culture shock. This took me by complete surprise because I never realised how different British people and American people communicate. Let me give you some examples. If a British person says, "I'm not keen on jam," that does not mean we'd rather something else. It means we hate, loathe, despise jam.
Really?
I'm not thrilled about this. Means we are furious. But an American probably hears, oh, like, I'm not so happy about that, but it's okay.
Right.
And I guess in my first year, Americans would ask me like, oh, how was your weekend? Oh, not bad, thanks. How was yours? And they'll be like, oh, what happened? And I'll be like, oh, it was fine. Maybe Americans thought I was genuinely having like an average time. So today it just kind of dawned on me that I feel like Americans speak in absolutes, but Brits communicate emotion through understatement. So if an American thinks something's good, they will say it's amazing. How your food was and you're enjoying it, you'll be like, this is incredible, thank you so much. Like, started speaking in absolutes. Maybe for the past year. And one of our family members came to visit, they kept saying to me like, why do you think everything's amazing? So if I speak understated, Americans are going to be thinking that I feel understated. Americans value conviction and self-expression. I believe that I can do this. I believe in myself. Confidence is almost like competence here. So this is the best coffee. I love Boston. This changed my entire life. It's like conviction in what they're saying. Brits, on the other hand, we're historically more suspicious of people who sound too certain in themselves. And there's like a cultural tendency to think, who are you to say that? You're way too big for your boots. Like, you need to be taken down a peg. And then that encourages hedging and like understatement in everything you do. Whole thing has been really hard for me to like overcome moving here. Of course, the American way historically is being rewarded for ambition and enthusiasm, showing a lot of excitement about your ideas, making them believable.
Sorry, that's really interesting though. Really interesting.
And then the British culture just tends to lean towards like wit, restraint, and like self-depreciation. Being overly enthusiastic can actually lead towards people like teasing you or being really enthusiastic. There's a saying like people will just call you, you're being really keen, like you're being too keen. And you have to learn to just be comfortable in being enthusiastic about life. Why not? But definitely at the beginning, when it came to like making friends and things like that, I think that does stunt you a little, but they are naturally way more enthusiastic than you. How many levels do I need to take my personality up to like fit in? Let me know what you think, because it's just an observation that I've made. I don't know if it's right or wrong.
They're not just saying that some of the landscapes are beautiful. I mean, they're talking about the food. They're saying that the people are the nicest and the kindest people that they've ever met or they ever interacted with. When starting something new, they feel encouragement. They look at their new neighbors and they feel a sense of community. They feel welcome. You know, they just feel like in America, you're allowed to dream out loud, to go after what you want. You can be more like yourself here. So we should definitely feel very lucky to live here. Many visitors say that once they experience that friendliness and that kindness in person, they start to understand it. Just the other day on the video about America's compliment culture, one person in the comments was like, I would hate for someone to come up to me, talk to me about my look. Their avatar was a British flag. So I know they're not from here, but they were like, I absolutely would hate it, you know? That's okay. That's not for you. That's fine. But a lot of people do come here, experience all of it, and they start to understand it. It feels good to be nice to people, and it feels good when people are nice to us, right? When people also have good news to share here, I feel like there's a lot of interest. In America, I feel like we do celebrate announcements a little bit, whether people get new jobs and they announce it. It's like, oh my goodness, congratulations. New apartment, oh my gosh, congratulations. You're starting a business? Oh wow, congratulations. And many foreign visitors also feel very safe here, even though they've heard otherwise. Some people do arrive feeling nervous because so much international coverage of America focuses on conflict and dramatic events. So I get it. When they come to America, they realize that America's a lot different than that, from the constant things that they're watching on the news. But that doesn't mean that problems don't exist. Of course they do. Visitors are often saying that they're surprised by how normal, calm, and welcoming that many Americans actually are. Some people are experiencing feeling comfortable driving long distances, even though they're not even used to it, because America's so big. and they're exploring the small towns, they're visiting shopping centers, they're walking around tourist areas and seeing new things. You know, a lot of them actually discovered Yellowstone and, you know, our national parks that are gorgeous. I know that the variety of food in America is a major attraction. It's one of the things that get people here and get them excited. It seems like they got the fast food all out of the way, and now they're trying local foods and actual real foods. Even if you live in America, do something different. Try to go to a different nearby town on a weekend where you can explore something new, because these places are actually everywhere. We forget what it's like to walk around a new city and try new things. That's what I feel inspired to do. These foreigners are inspiring me. If you want to see the shock of these foreigners when they learned about American compliment culture, then go ahead and check out this video here. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could still use a reminder that America can still surprise people in the best possible ways. All right, my friend, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.